What's up, GTI?
We're back with some new videos for you this week.
But first up, we have an announcement from the English Plaza. English Plaza will be hosting a Zoom Halloween party on October 30th with a costume contest, decoration, ghost storytelling contest, no cringe contest, and many more. So if that sounds fun to you, make sure you check that out on October 30th.
Next up, we have Phrase of the Week.
Andrew, do we have Phrase of the Week?
Yeah, just bear with me here for a minute. Okay.
Okay, the phrase of the week this week is bear with me. We use this as a polite way to ask someone to wait while we finish something or do something or find out some information. It might be something we haven't really done before, or it might just be something that takes a little bit of time, so the other person needs to wait patiently. We can also use it with other object pronouns, like bear with us, bear with him, bear with her, etc. So, for example, if you call into an internet company, you might hear something like, "Please bear with me while I look up the details of your account." The worker here is asking the caller to wait patiently while they do something, while they look up the details. And for another example, the teacher asked the students to bear with him because he wasn't comfortable using the online learning system. So here, the teacher is asking the students to be patient while he figures out how to use the online learning system. And lastly, I might say, if you just bear with me, all of this information will make sense at the end. Here, I'm saying that if you can be patient and listen to the full explanation, it will make more sense later. So, the next time you want to ask someone to wait patiently while you do something, you can say, bear with me. See you next time on Phrase of the Week.
And it always took us so long to choose what chocolates that we ended up not getting to eat any of it because it was too late to eat the candy. So that's what Halloween was like when I was a child.
Oh, interesting. Speaking of, we asked a couple other GTFs this week what Halloweens were like when they were kids.
It was very different than most Americans, I think, because I have never been trick-or-treating, ever, because I grew up on a farm, so I had no neighbors, just cows. So I've never been trick-or-treating. I have worn costumes. We would have Spirit Week at school, usually the week before Halloween, and so, I did dress up in costume usually every Halloween, and sometimes my family would go to like a local church fall festival, or sometimes my elementary school would maybe have a fall festival in the gymnasium, and there'd be like games like Bob for Apples or Hay Wagon Ride, things like that. But yeah, it usually surprises people to find out I've never been trick-or-treating. And then something else we always do in my family for Halloween is we always watch the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. We always watch the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown with Snoopy and Charlie Brown, and I just love the line every time of Charlie Brown saying, "I got a rock." So we watch that, and we'll carve pumpkins and toast the pumpkin seeds and eat them as snacks.
Halloween was one of my favorite holidays when I was a kid. I remember that we used to do a lot of really fun activities. I really enjoyed the Halloween decorations, and I just like fall anyway. I like the dry leaves on the ground and kind of the chilly air. But what I really liked about Halloween is we'd often have little Halloween parties. My family would always order a pizza, but then we'd make other little side dishes that were kind of Halloween themed. For example, my mom would make ice cubes that had little plastic spiders inside them, or like Jello ghosts and things like that. One of my favorite things though was to wear a costume, especially as a kid. I'd put a lot of thought into what I would be for Halloween. And every year I tried to be something different. One year I dressed as a werewolf, another year a Frankenstein, another year a vampire, and lots of different costumes. One of my other favorite things to do was to go trick-or-treating with my friends. We'd always organize a group and go together from door to door. There was a house that we especially liked. We call it the Donut House, and this family had their own donut recipe, and every year on Halloween they'd make probably hundreds and hundreds of donuts just for the neighborhood. So everybody would visit that house. It was very popular. And I still like Halloween. Halloween's still one of my favorite holidays. I like to watch, scary movies around this time of year, and I look forward to more Halloweens in the future.
In my hometown, some kids don't live close to their friends and family and neighbors, and so because my hometown does something like tailgating for college football games, we do a similar thing for Halloween called trunk or treat. So families will bring their trucks or cars or vans to a common place like a school parking lot or maybe a church, community center, synagogue parking lot, and open the trunk of their car and have candy and decorations, and kids wearing costumes will go from car to car saying trunk or treat, and you can get candy that way. But that way friends, family, neighbors can gather together in a place that if they live far away, they can gather together that way.
When I was a kid, there were two things every year that I looked forward to the most for Halloween. The first was the class parties that we would have in elementary school for the last hour or two of the day near Halloween. And we would all change into our costumes and hang out. Here you can see me. I'm all the way on the left there as the knight. And we would hang out and play games and eat candy. Here we're trying to dress ourselves up as mummies with toilet paper as fast as we can. And the second thing that was the most fun for Halloween as a kid was going out trick-or-treating. So we'd go out with my family or my friends to all of our neighbors collecting candy. And then when we would get home, we'd dump it all out on the floor, and I would trade candy with my brothers and sisters for probably an hour after we got home. So those are the two things that I look forward to the most every Halloween.
I just remembered, in my elementary school, we actually did sometimes do hall trick-or-treating, where you would go from class to class and get candy. We did do that sometimes because I remember in my elementary school, this was, back in the day when people weren't careful about allergies, but everybody's moms would bake brownies, cupcakes, cookies, and you would be sent to school with what your mom baked, and you would go through the hall and do trick-or-treating with that, or do a hall sale where maybe you'd sell your mom's brownies or cookies and raise money for the school. But I think I do remember some hall trick-or-treating, so I guess I did it a little bit.
Well, that's all we have time for this week.
And don't forget about the Zoom Halloween party on Friday, October 30th.
Happy Halloween!